Today on the channel, Adventurous Ones, it's time to unbox the greatest one of the Universal monsters. And I mean the greatest one, because the transformation he goes through in the movie and stuff, it was always neat looking how they did the shots the way they did and stuff, with his feet turning in all furry and stuff, his hands starting to turn and everything. I was like, it was always so neat to watch how they did that. And I am talking about none other than Lon Chaney's The Wolfman. Welcome to the toy review. It's time we get started. Welcome back, Adventurous Ones, for another unboxing and review. I'm your host, as always, the master of all the multiverses. And the reason why they turned into total shitfest, I'm not sorry for it. You're welcome. Joseph Michaels, the Adventurous Joe, at your services. And today, as our last and final unboxing for 2025, we got none other than the Wolfman from Neca. And once again, just like Dracula and Frankenstein, the black and white version. This is Universal monsters the way they were meant to be and stuff. Not the colorized stuff that they did later on and everything, which ruined the aspect of the movie and stuff like that. Okay, it's black and white. It's how I grew up watching the Universal monsters with my mom and dad and stuff. When they introduced me to these things, I always said, you know, when I was a kid, I got the little figures that they made of the Creature of the Black Lagoon, Dracula, and all them. They were just little figures that looked just like the Star Wars figures and stuff. No real arms and leg movement, hardly, and everything else in between. It was just the standard, okay? However, I grew up with these figures and stuff like that. I grew up with these movies, and when I got to see these movies, I wasn't sitting there like, oh, I'm terrified as a little kid and stuff like that. I was like mesmerized. I was like, oh, that's so freaking cool. Yeah. So anyways, let's get started with this unboxing. Now, as I told you before about Dracula coming from Ross and stuff, this guy also came from Ross, thanks in part to Pop Culture Junkie. And you can see right there, the price tag for Ross is still on it for $19.99. This figure costs $39.99 and up, depending on where you get it from. So, was it worth the wait? We're about to find out. First things first, the classic Universal Monsters colorized poster, which all the posters were always colorized, but the movies were black and white. Never made sense to me, but at the same time, who cares? Anyways, you also got the inside portion here showing you the black and white, featuring the black and white character itself, and so on. Then, just like on the side of the box, showing you the different things, and like that. And then on the back of the box, same deal, showing you everything that's there and telling you all that it comes with. So, let's get him out of the box. Da, da, da. And once again, just like I showed you with Dracula and stuff like that, he comes with the backdrop here. So if you want to just throw out the, you don't want to just, you just want to throw out the box, make sure you take the back out, because it fits perfectly to do your figure photography with and stuff. Okay, now we're going to put you over there. And one thing I like about this figure is, look at this, human feet. You can make it where he's, you know, in his human form with his feet. I love it, you know, before he transforms into the Wolfman and stuff. We're going to find out how that works while we're doing this review. I want to see that for myself, how this is going to look. Now, he also comes with a mini figure stand here for some reason. I guess that was just to make sure he can stand up or whatever. And we close that just like that behind him again. Pop out his heads. Do that just like that. And there's Lon Chaney's head himself. Lon Chaney Jr. Excuse me. There's his human head. Okay, come on. Boy, that Wolfman head does not want to come out of there. Come on. Okay, struggle is real. There we go. Got it out. Oop, ah, dang it. There goes Drax. Bat. Stand up there. Nobody told you to go anywhere. Okay, fix that again. The cane, the wolf cane and stuff. This is actually what kills him at the end of the movie. Okay, his own father, played by Claude Rains, okay, takes this and beats him to death with it. And it literally is made of silver. So it's the only way to kill the Wolfman. So it's like, okay. So that's how it goes. And that's the one thing I never understood in the movie, or when I was a kid and stuff. Nope, this one's taped down. Okay, let's get that done here. Let's get that done, thank you. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Okay, then we got the hands here. Different hands. Because these hands represent, like, showing him before he turns into the Wolfman and stuff. Then you got the hand that can hold the cane. And so on. We're going to put that back together just like that. Hold on to that. He also comes with a bear trap, which is how Claude Rains actually captures and kills his son. Because in order to stop the Wolfman, he had to capture him. He had to trap him. So when he got trapped in the bear trap and stuff, Claude Rains came along and just bam, started bashing him over and over again with the cane. And I was like, damn, bro. And I'm a little kid watching this shit, and I was like, why is he beating his own kid to death? Isn't he trying to help him? And my mom said that that's how he's going to help him. That the Wolfman can only be killed by silver, or a silver bullet. And I was like, oh. See, that's stuff I didn't know growing up, when I was just a little kid and stuff. That's stuff I didn't even know. And once I got into the lore of the Wolfman and stuff like that, and lore of Universal monsters in general, I started to see the difference in it. And I was like, oh, okay. And we're going to pop his hand back in. There we go. Mr. Wolfman. There we go. Look at that. Look at that. He's the Wolfman here. All right. Now, the one thing I said we were going to test, but first things first. Like before, Dracula and him have the no double knee joint and stuff. So he can only kick back about that far and down again. Crosswise, he can stretch his arm up about that far, back down again. 360 to loosen up them joints. Torso articulation on this one. You can move side to side. Elbow articulation allows him to push up about that far. And then back down again. No butterfly joint to this thing and stuff, so he cannot move his arm in certain directions and stuff. It's only on a ball joint hinge. Okay. And as you've already seen, I can remove the hands and stuff. Now in the feet, now in the case of the feet, unlike Dracula, he can push his feet back all the way back like that. And then up about that far like that. So there you go. Okay, now let's see how he looks in his human form. First things first, the head articulation. I forgot to show you that again. Okay, just like Dracula, the long neck wise on there and stuff allows him to turn 360. Look down about that far, up about that far, and that's it. And then you pop it off just like that. Once again, ball joint embedded into the neck, so you don't have to worry about it breaking off and stuff. So let's see how he looks with his human head on. Here we go. So. Alright. So. Now we're going to pop off his wolf hands. Now the one thing that Lon Chaney Jr. tried to do in the movie is that he tried to stop himself from turning into the Wolfman over and over again. He tried to stop himself from going out and killing anybody. And he literally did everything. He was tying himself up, chaining himself down, and everything else in between. It did nothing for him. He literally was able to still get free. He was still able to go out and kill as the Wolfman. And once his father found out exactly what was going on and stuff, okay, he told him, we'll do everything we can in our power to freaking help you and stuff. We'll do whatever we can. And he was more of a loving father figure than the remake 2010 version of the Wolfman father, played by Anthony Hopkins, Sir Anthony Hopkins, the late Sir Anthony Hopkins. See, yeah, you know what I mean. Either way, wait, is he dead? I can't remember. My brain just flustered on that one. So pay no attention. Anyways, we're gonna put his hands on here. Showing you the iconicness of the Wolfman hands and how he looks before he transforms. Now, one thing I would like to have done is that they should have done feet where he's got his boots on or shoes on or something, okay? And instead of just the bare feet like this and stuff. But still, fan-freaking-tastic work, Neca, on this one, because the legs, you can remove these from here and put the Wolfman feet back on him and stuff. So if you want him to look in the human form, before he transforms and stuff, you go from there. So that's a plus right there. Now, we're going to take his head back off again. Pop that human head off. And he's got two different heads for the Wolfman here. He's got the normal one where he's just like, and then he's got the whole kind of angry looking monster head, when he's getting ready to strike, and everything else in between it. Let's see here, right or left? Hang on a second, I gotta look at my feet again. Okay, yeah, okay. Yeah, okay, that's right. You. There. There we go. Okay, now we're going to put your hands back on. And go from there. Alright, put your hands back on. And again, when you're doing these, be very careful. Remember, small pin joints, small pegs on these and stuff. Be careful not to just yank them right out, okay? Because you will break these pegs off. Now, NECA's not always the greatest in the world when it comes to the figure stuff, because sometimes their figures do have an issue where they will break. Okay, or something on them will break. Alright, we're gonna go with his Grr head. Or, yeah. There we go. Yeah, like he's getting ready to strike. There we go. And there he is. Whoop, hang on. Almost went bye-bye there, Wolfie. Eyes bigger than your stomach there, eh? Than your stomach, eh, Wolfie? He's like, alright, perfect. Look at that, look at that, look at that, look at that. Oop, 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 oop. Okay, okay. Alright, now I can see why they give you a little figure stand. You're having a little bit of a trouble here. Okay. Unless I put these wrong. Oh, that's weird. That is so weird. Okay, whatever. Alright, stand up like that. There we go. Okay, now, let's see for size comparison how he is with Dracula and Frankenstein. Here he is with Dracula. Now, as you can see, Dracula is a little short to our good old Wolfman here. See how the the size comparison point is reading to there to there? He's coming up a little short. Now, let's see how Frankenstein stacks up with him. Yeah, now see, you can see where Frankenstein, Boris Karloff here, is taller than Lon Chaney, and Lon Chaney Jr., excuse me, and Bela Lugosi. So, alright, now, let's put Dracula out of the way. Let's put Frankenstein out of the way. Put them both over there. Ooh, they're gonna fall over there. Alright, Chief, hold still. Anyways. Alright, thoughts on this one. Fan-freaking-tastic work, NECA. The feet, being able to remove the feet so you can put the human ones on him and stuff to show him before he's transformed and stuff, or like when he turned back and he's freaking like, how did I get here kind of deal and stuff. Fan-freaking-tastic. The bear trap accessory is neat as hell too. I forgot to mention that, how it works. It can clamp up like that. I forgot about that to show you guys that it can clamp up like this, so you can clamp it around his foot to trap him, and so on and so forth. The cane accessory is beautiful. I love the iconic wolf cane, the wolf's head on the cane, and so on and so forth. Now, was this worth the price it was originally sold for $39.99 on up? Yes, actually. I mean, my God, I should have bought this sucker a long time ago and stuff. But because of adult difficulties and finances and so on and so forth, okay, certain things had to be put on hold. Okay, now getting this from Ross for $20 less than what it originally was and stuff, it's a better deal. Okay, you get it for the 20. You're still getting something really good and stuff, but at the same time, you got certain things that need to be addressed here and stuff. Like, for one, I can see why they gave him a little figure stand to stand on and stuff, because his feet, even though I think I got them on right, I believe I got them on correctly and stuff, but his feet look a little awkward. I mean, they look a little awkward. Like, he's standing perfectly right now and stuff, but what happens if he suddenly gets bumped and just falls backwards or something? It's one of those things you gotta be aware of when getting these kind of figures and stuff. So, in a way, yes, he's worth the price he was originally sold for, but he's also worth it if you're able to get your hands on him at Ross for the $20. Let's hear your thoughts down in the comment section down below, Adventurous Ones. Like it, don't like it, let's hear it all. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, leave your comments, and hit that bell notification so you don't miss on anything we've got coming up in 2026. There's always more on the way on this channel, and you never know unless you hit the bell and set it to all. So, also, it's the new year. I know you're all going to be out there having fun and partying and all that good shit, but come on. Be smart out there, people, and don't do stupid shit, and don't say or listen to anyone that's stupid to get you in trouble, or even worse, 6 feet in the ground forever, okay? Use your heads. Get them safely to the people that love and care about you the most, alright? Every single chance you have, you let them know how much you love and care about them in return. Alright? Until the next unboxing. Until the next Howl at the Moon review. Peace out. May the force be with all of you. Nevertheless, one of y'all have a safe, lovely, and beautiful week out there. Take care of yourselves, your family, your friends, your pets, loved ones in general. And until then, take care. God bless to every single one of you out there. Happy New Year. And we'll see you later in 2026.